Welcome to another video. It's wet. Before we talk about why we're like this, you can probably tell because the bike's in the back of the car and because, you've probably seen the videos in this channel before. But before we do, as ever, hit that subscribe button, go on, you know you want to, and use the notification bell. Roll the video. That was the intro, obviously. So, it's Lochely, Fife. It is light rain, according to the forecast. It's not very light when you're out on the circuit. And it's the Spokes Summer Series, Crit Series, race number 6. I think this is the third one we've done. And, yeah, it's Cat 3-4. We were actually in race number 2, which was the series race. And we asked to be moved to the overflow race. Fewer competitors, and we're not fighting against the people who are pushing for their Cat 2, and which is where we found ourselves last week. And of course, we also then don't have to worry about the grid being predetermined because we're not in the series race, because that's how they're doing the grid. The people who are leading the series get position number 1 on the grid. So we're not doing that. We're doing the overflow race, which is race number 1. So, let's get on it. So that was fun. Cat 3-4 race at Lochely, absolutely bucketing down. It's become a little bit, well, actually it's peeing down now. It got a little bit heavier, then it eased off, and then it got really heavy at the end of the race. But because it was peeing down and the tailgate of the car doesn't open high enough and there was no other shelter, I couldn't use the rollers to do the warm-up. So what I decided to do was stick this jumper on and just go for a quick spin. Of course, that was a big mistake because the roads were absolutely drenched. I don't know what's different about the circuit, but the race circuit doesn't seem to be too bad. It was in places really, really bad, and I'm glad I decided not to wear glasses tonight. But there were a few places where you had to come away from the wheel in front of you, otherwise you just couldn't see. But then there was other parts of the circuit where it was fine, absolutely fine, no spray whatsoever. Anyway, I'm rolling around with my jumper on, finishing the warm-up on the circuit, and it's like 3 minutes to go, and I'm thinking, right, do you know what, I've not had my caffeine tablet and I need to get rid of this jumper. I'll quickly fly back to the car and stick it in the car. As I'm taking it off, I then look across the circuit to see that everyone's already starting to grid up, and I'm thinking, fill in the blanks there. So, started at the back. Not the best place to start, and I had my Velo toes on tonight, which, because I also haven't worn for so long, I had to really work at separating them, and I've gone and ripped one of them. So that was about as much use as a paper bag at keeping the water off my feet. Yeah, but because of that, I couldn't quite, I missed the first clip in, got the second one, went round a couple of people, got up near the front, and then proceeded to lose the front over the next 3 or 4 corners, just essentially just trying to find my way on the wet circuit, and I wasn't overly confident in cornering. That said, the confidence came, but by that point I'd lost the wheel. So I counted the next 3 corners, maybe 4 corners. I counted the riders in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting. And then just double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking. There was 9 riders in front of me. And you know what that means. If you can stay in the position you're in, you will finish 10th, you'll pick up a point, first point of the season. I eased off, waited for whoever was behind me to catch up to me. One guy did, I rode with him, blew him away almost immediately. Wasn't even trying to, but that's just the way it happened. 2 other people then caught up, and then there we go. 3-up race for the duration. A young lad and an older guy. Well, I say older. He was younger than me, but he was older than the other guy. So we rode together. I wouldn't necessarily say that we rode cohesively. We took a couple of turns each, but it was really difficult to try and get people to come through. Couple of digs in from all 3 of us. Mostly chased down by myself. I put a little dig in, got about half a lap, and then sat up and waited for the other 2 to catch me up. I was just essentially testing the waters. I kind of had an idea that the slightly older guy of the pair, although admittedly still younger than me, I had an inkling that he was on the limit a little bit. So I thought, if me and the younger lad put an effort in, we can lose him. But that didn't happen. So I sat up, waited for them to join in. Young lad made a couple of digs, and especially near the end, I never saw any lap banners, but I did hear the bell. Now, he'd put in a couple of digs prior to that. He put in a really big dig just before the bell. I chased him down, and so up and over the start line there's a little drag, and then you're down quite a sharp left-hander back up the hill, and then a wee dip, and then back round and back up again. At that, he swung out, and I went on the inside, and I decided to kick. Now at this point we're talking 3/4 of a lap left to go, but I decided to go all out, full gas. I was, to be honest, prior to that I was sitting in thinking, I'll take these boys in the sprint. But he just put in a dig, and it was pretty significant, and I thought, go for it. Head down, go. It is wet, really wet. You've got some fast corners coming up, but just go for it. So I did. Max power for the day was 11:15. Average was 2:42. Average speed was fast. And top speed was like almost 50k. So I'm pretty tough with that on a wet circuit. And anyway, yeah, put in a big dig, three quarters of a lap left to go, and I took it. 10th on the line. So I'm happy with that. First point of the season. If only there were some more Cat 4 races that I could take part in. For whatever reason, Smokes only want to do Cat 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3s, and then obviously the women races. We do have a couple of Cat 4s coming up at the end of next month. Do we have one at the start of July? I don't think so. I think we now have a little break from racing. I'm not sure. I'll need to double check the calendar. But yeah, pretty happy with that. First point of the season. It's always good to get it on the board. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not the end of the season, because we've put a hell of a lot of effort into racing this year. We've put a hell of a lot of miles in the car, and it'd be nice to come away with a little bit more than just that single point. However, single point is still good, still happy, especially racing in such awful conditions. Wringing out the socks afterwards, even if you're wearing velo toes and you're wringing out your socks, yeah, that wasn't fun. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. You know I appreciate it at sports. Hit the button, hit the like button, smash it, tickle it. Subscribe to the channel. There are so many of you out there that watch the videos that aren't subscribed, and I love the fact you're watching the videos. But please think about subscribing, because it makes me feel like I'm doing a good job for you all. If you are going to hit that subscription button, make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you know when the new videos go live. Speaking of live, down below is the links to the live stream. I know there hasn't been many recently because we've been spending so much time outdoors racing. However, there will be some more live streams of racing coming up, because we're not going to be doing, we're going to have to take a wee break from the outdoors racing just because of the way that things are working. So I think what we'll do is we'll plug in maybe one live race per week, just to keep the legs ticking over. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, check out the live streams, Facebook and Twitch. That's it for me. So as ever, keep your hands clean, look out for each other, and look after yourself. And I will see you soon. Right on. Zoom.
I just want